1978 was a great year for Boney M were top of the charts. Space Invaders were taking Britain by storm, and Dennis was hard at work filming a brand new series, Minder. It's 1978.
Oh, don't flare.
It doesn't it? And there's Minder. And this is a colossally big deal for you and for the whole of Britain, really, because everyone's hugely into it. There's nobody who would go, what? I've never heard of it, is there, really?
I don't think so, no.
You should have seen him when he came out. He said, have there been any great technological advances while I've been away?
How long were you inside for, Arthur? You can lock a man up, but you cannot imprison his spirit. It's up here. If you got it up here, incarceration means nothing.
An hour and a half. He was banged up for an hour and a half.
George Cole wouldn't have been my first choice.
Why not?
Well, I just thought he was too posh and too soft, really, in a way. And but then I found out he came from Tooting as well. He's a South London boy, and we, as he says in the book, in fact, that you know, we sparred for about 3 days of just getting, and then I don't know what clicked it, but we suddenly realised how similar our humour was, and we shared a dressing room, we shared a Winnebago, we shared everything. No, there's, you know, this chemistry between actors is just an unbelievable stroke of luck, and George and I just absolutely loved working together. And we get the schedule and go, you're not on Wednesday, you're going to leave me here to work alone with all those strangers.
If you want to change your situation.
In 1980, Minder also helped Dennis fulfill a rather surprising dream of having a #1 hit.
That's the wrong location. I've got a good idea. Just you keep me near. I'll be so good for you. I'll be right by your side.
And yesterday, Arthur?
Spit in your face.
A year later, a glamorous redhead walked into Dennis's life. The only problem was, Dennis was still married.
Would somebody please take these tapes?
Oh, yes, give them to my assistant, will you? He's temporarily in charge.
No, I'm sorry, no, it's nothing to do with me.
In 1981, the news breaks of your affair with Rula Lenska, and the press begin a sort of campaign against you. It really seems like that. They're really on your back day and night, aren't they?
It exacerbates this whole affair, if you want, you know, kind of backs you into a corner and you can't get out. You can't just say, oh, shut up, I'm just having a, you know, I'm having a ding-dong with quite a good-looking actress. You're forced to make decisions which maybe you shouldn't have, and you get this stupid thing of being, you know, faithful to your mistress and not your wife, you know, it's called dumb. But no, the press aren't very helpful in that event at all. But nevertheless, we were caught out, and I suppose, you know, you're in the public eye, so you deserve it to a certain extent. But it's not just you. If it was just you and the bird, then you can handle it, you know, whatever. But it isn't. It's a knock-on effect to everybody you know, your whole family, you know, your brothers and sisters, and especially the children, you know, they just kind of don't know whether you're telling the truth anymore.
You say the bird and you're reasonably kind of nonchalant about it, but it's quite clear there was something very special between you and Rula Lenska.
Yeah, there was. I mean, obviously, she was, I thought, a very, very attractive woman. And, you know, we were very, very attracted to each other. And when it was eventually all sorted out and we were living together and we started working together, we had just some fantastic times. And you know, in those days, you wouldn't think anything could possibly go wrong. I thought everything was just like as good as it could be.
Can you separate those two? Look at them. See? Can you?
Separate them?
Yeah. How do you feel about working together, Dennis?
It's good
you and Ruth. I'm here to ask personal questions.
You're not, you're playing silly games.
How do you feel about working together?
Answer the man, go on, answer the man. We feel very good about it, actually. We did a tour. It was obviously dangerous, but please, I'm trying to talk now.
Sorry.
We did this all the time. We did this play in Australia and New Zealand.
Same time next year.
Yes,
yeah.
And you know, you think, well, this is like a 24-hour commitment, and we really still quite liked each other at the end of it. So so far, it's so good.
How long was the honeymoon period? How long was it quite good fun?
Well, we had really a good, sort of, very good 10 years of getting on fine, you know, really, really very well.
So what went wrong?
I don't know, maybe neither of us had been in a relationship that long. There's a sort of insidious thing of, you know, right, I've got him now, I'll change him. That went on a bit, which for a while I didn't mind, you know. It was, she was very, luckily they're a very close family and a very nice family generally, but they insist on being together a lot, and that meant at my house most of the time, and you get a bit worn out. Then I kind of realised I was actually not involving my own family or my own friends. It was suddenly I'd gone somewhere else, you know. And I mean, I'm talking about friends who I've known for, you know, Robert Powell and guys of Paul Young who I've known since I was 16, you know. Suddenly they weren't sort of being invited to the same parties and things.
And even your sister says, you know, we really didn't get asked much anymore. We didn't seem to be asked to play much part in their life. You must have known this was going on, didn't you?
Well, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I'd say, look, next Christmas, we're going to do, I mean, the Christmases went on for months. I mean, they were a nightmare. And it's all Polish, so it's really good fun. And, you know, there's football on television on Boxing Day. Well, you can't watch that. You want to bet? No, you can. Anyway. You know, obviously nothing. It's not all Ruler's fault, obviously. But there was a very definite sort of change of life, really. And which kind of, it happens so slowly that you don't know it's happening. And then you realise you haven't spent a Christmas with your own family, you know, for 7 years or something.
In your book, you're very kind of honest in terms of letting other people have their say, not something that many authors do. So people chip in all the time. You've got your previous wives saying how they felt at the time. You've got, you know, your manager and mates, in their own words, saying what they felt. And you've also got both your daughters saying how they felt. You know, they say, we felt, you know, very unhappy, very marginalised, or we really felt that no one was listening to us. But, you know, we didn't want Dad to be upset by it. We didn't want to tell Dad.
Yeah, it's kind of pathetic, isn't it?
I mean, how do you feel now when you look at it? Because it's something that's quite devastating.
No, I feel useless that I didn't notice it. I mean, it was going on around me, and I had no real idea, you know. No, Ruler really has got quite a lot to answer for with respect to my children. Especially with Julia and I, we had a very difficult time, and it appears that Ruler was really trying to turn her against me. For what reason, I can't imagine how that would benefit anybody. But I mean, she's just such a power freak that she wants everybody on her side.
Are you getting in or not?
You've got a distinct knack of making an invitation sound like an order.
Look, Buster, I am cold, hungry and tired.
Stay Lucky, which Dennis starred in with Jan Francis, was filmed up in Yorkshire. Being 200 miles from home, it wasn't long before he ended up in the arms of another woman, this time Fiona Black, an assistant floor manager on the production.
Obviously, your marital record is a rocky, bumpy and pretty kind of roller coaster ride, isn't it? Do you think the whole time you were trying to replicate that feeling of having all those sisters making a fuss of you? Is that what it was?
I don't know quite. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that having that many sisters made it easier for me to get on with women, and you know, to the start, some of them were a little older than me. I don't know what I was trying to get a leg over, basically. That's.
Yeah, but you were always succeeding. You weren't really trying, were you? It was just an absolute total 100% success rate with absolutely everyone, wasn't it?
Nearly.
Yeah.
I missed a couple, but...
No, hardly any. But I mean, it's kind of overlapping, interlocking marriages, affairs, marriages, affairs, affairs, marriages, like that, isn't it?
Yeah. It wasn't... I mean, I'm actually quite embarrassed about having been married 3 times. I can't believe that somebody as sort of ordinary as me would have been married 3 times. I thought when I got married the first time, that was it. That's what I'd do. But and that was kind of just too early for... I mean, we're very, very good friends still, but it was kind of too early for me to be married. You know, suddenly I was thrown in. As you say, it was Sweeney was on television every night. It was an absolute overnight success, and there were birds coming in from everywhere. That's what you're supposed to do, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you're supposed to when you're married to somebody else, though.
No, I
suppose
you're
that's the thing. You're not really supposed to, are you?
Yeah, but it's those, you know, these lame excuses about you actually didn't embark on something because you thought it was going to wreck your marriage. You embarked on it because it seemed like a really good idea at the time, and then it became an even better idea and all that sort of stuff.